Let me start with something I wish more Indian women heard earlier. This is not your fault. It's almost never random. I've had hundreds of women cry in my clinic over their hair. Not because they're vain, because hair loss changes the way women feel about themselves. The whitening parting, the thinning ponytail, the scalp becoming visible under bright light, the panic every time you wash your hair and you see it, the panic when there's strands on your pillow, the hair on your bathroom floor. Most women who come to me have almost always tried everything before they come to my clinic. Hair oils, biotin gummies, expensive shampoos, Instagram supplements, orange juice, rosemary oil, home remedies from their relatives, friends, and yet the shredding continues. I'm Dr. Chytra Anand and I have over 20 years of experience treating Indian scalp and skin. And after treating thousands of women with thinning hair, this is what I can tell you confidently. Most hair loss in Indian women after 30 is not just genetics. Very often it's the body trying to tell you something internally is missing. And today I want to talk you and walk you through 5 deficiencies I see most commonly in Indian women with hair fall. Not trends, not market, real deficiencies backed by real physiology and dermatology research. I'll explain why blood tests matter and how they help, the levels I look for clinically, and what genuinely works long time. And stay till the end because after the 5 deficiency, I'll tell you the 6th factor that quietly affects almost every single one of them. And nobody in India talks about it properly. Now, before we start, we need to understand one very important thing about hair. Hair is biologically non-essential tissue. That means when your body is stressed or undernourished, inflamed, sleep deprived, or hormonally imbalanced, your follicles are one of the first places your body cuts all the resources from. Your brain matters more, your heart matters more, hormones matter more. Hair is not a priority. And Indian women are especially vulnerable to this because of vegetarian diets, chronic stress, poor sleep, postpartum depression, polycystic syndromes, crash dieting, vitamin deficiencies, constant inflammation, thyroid changes. Deficiency 1, vitamin D. Let's talk about this. It's deeply ironic. We live in one of the sunniest countries in the world, yet 70 to 80% of urban Indians are vitamin D deficient. That's not social media exaggeration. That's consistent with Indian data. And here's why it happens. Most urban Indians spend days indoors. When we go outside, we're covered up, car, sunscreen, avoiding peak sun, which by the way, I still recommend for sun protection. But there's another reason. Indian skin has more melanin, and melanin naturally reduces vitamin D synthesis, meaning Indian skin needs significantly longer UV exposure to generate the same vitamin D as lighter skin. But genetically also, we are vitamin D deficient. But why does this matter for hair? Vitamin D receptors exist directly in the hair follicles, and without enough vitamin D signaling, the follicles struggle to remain in a growth phase actively. They shift permanently into resting and shredding phase instead. And this is where things are frustrating because many women are told your vitamin D is normal, but clinically their hair is still behaving like someone who's deficient. Now here's a study worth knowing. A study published in the International Journal of Trichology found that women with diffuse hair loss had significantly lower vitamin D levels compared to women without hair loss. And the researchers concluded that vitamin deficiency plays an important role in chronic telogen effluvium and female pattern hair loss. I see this constantly in my clinic. Women with fatigue, low mood, diffuse shedding, muscle ache, poor sleep, and vitamin D levels in their 30s being told everything is fine. Now, technically, those levels are inside the lab reference range, but these ranges are designed around bone health and they're not about optimal follicular function. For generally hair, I prefer vitamin D to be between 60 to 80, not 30. Deficiency 2, ferritin. This may be the single most missed cause of hair shedding in Indian women. Ferritin, not hemoglobin, not serum iron, it's ferritin, which is your iron storage protein. Hair follicles are incredibly sensitive to low ferritin. Hair follicles are the fastest dividing structures in our body. Fast dividing requires oxygen. Oxygen depends on iron availability. And when ferritin falls, your body enters into a resource conservation mode. and everything is redirected to survival organs, brain, heart, muscle, etc. So hair follicles are depleted. Women can have normal hemoglobin, normal blood counts, normal iron, and still huge amounts of hair is lost. Maybe because of vegetarian, heavy periods, postpartum, that's after pregnancy, endurance exercises, women with history of dieting. And here's an important data. A study published in the Journal of American Academy of Dermatology showed that women with chronic telogen effluvium and female pattern hair loss had significantly lower ferritin levels compared to the control. And over years, multiple dermatological studies have supported the association between low ferritin and diffuse shedding. Clinically, ferritin below 70 gets my attention always. I'm happiest when ferritin is above 70 for hair recovery. When Indian diet becomes important is here. Plant-based iron absorbs purely compared to heme iron from animal foods, which means absorption strategies matter. Vitamin C dramatically improves iron absorption. Simple examples: dal with lemon, palak with tomato, amla with meals. Small things, but big differences over time. And if supplements are needed, ferrous bisglycinate is often much gentler than ferrous sulfate. Less nausea, less constipation, and better long-term compliance. But here's something that many doctors still don't explain. New research suggests alternate day iron dosing often absorbs better than daily dosing because it reduces the hepcidin blockage. The next is deficiency 3, vitamin B12. This is very common in India, especially among vegetarians, because vitamin B12 appears very subtly at first. Women will describe unexplained fatigue, low energy, brain fog, tingling, poor concentration, low stamina, hair thinning. B12 affects rapidly dividing cells and nerve signaling. And since hair follicles rely heavily on both, it's important. And most people don't realize that hair follicles are connected to extremely fine vascular and neural networks. So poor neural signaling affects the follicular cycling over time. So women with B12 notice thinner strands, slower growth, and increased hair shedding. Many women are technically normal on lab reports, but clinically a level of 220 is still very low. You want to be about 600 and above. So I always look to stabilize patients in this. And for supplementation, sublingual methylcobalamin is actually absorbed very fast than standard oral tablets, especially in women with gut absorption issues. But vitamin B12 pharma levels are best. Deficiency 4, zinc. This is very important in women with PCOS, hormonal acne, scalp oiliness, or female pattern balding. Zinc has multiple roles in our hair biology. One of the most important is its effect on DHT metabolism, dihydrotestosterone, which is a key hormone involved in follicular miniaturization, which means shrinking of the hair follicle over time or stunted follicle. And zinc helps regulate this in the conversion pathway. Zinc deficiency, why is it so common? 3 reasons: stress, vegetarian diet, and reduced absorption. Chronic stress depletes zinc. Almost every Indian woman I treat is under stress. Work stress, family stress, mental overload, sleep deprivation. All of us know this. And it affects our body biologically. And if you want to just improve zinc through food, pumpkin seeds is one of the richest source of dietary zinc and very underrated. If you're supplementing zinc bisglycinate, better than zinc oxide, but in moderation, because too much zinc will deplete copper, which is not good because we need copper too. All right, nothing in excess. Deficiency 5, magnesium. This may be the most overlooked deficiency on the list because magnesium links 2 things most women never connect together: stress and hair loss. When magnesium levels are low, the nervous system is in a chronically activated state. The cortisol remains elevated longer, sleep quality worsens, recovery worsens, and the elevated cortisol pushes the follicles into a permanent shedding stage called telogen effluvium, one of the most common causes of hair fall in women. Here's important fact: most women are not losing hair because of a dramatic stressful event. They're losing because of years of chronic low-grade stress, poor sleep, mental exhaustion, nervous system overload, and eventually the body reflects it externally. And here's where magnesium becomes important. It helps regulate the nervous system recovery and the sleep quality. And sleep is where much of your hormonal and cellular repair happens. A study in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that magnesium supplementation improved insomnia measures, sleep efficiency, and stress regulation. Clinically, I often see shedding improves once sleep improves consistently, not overnight, but over 8 to 12 weeks. Magnesium glycinate is a form that's good, and there are other forms also. The sixth factor, vitamin K2. This is the sixth thing I promised to tell you. It quietly affects almost every deficiency we've discussed. Vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form. And here's why it matters. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption, but K2 helps direct calcium into the correct tissues, bone, T cells. And without adequate K2, calcium can deposit in soft tissues, including the vascular tissue. While research around scalp microcirculation calcification is still evolving, healthy blood flow absolutely matters for follicular health long term, which is why many clinicians now pair vitamin D3 with K2 rather than just using high dose D3. So, where to start? Before you panic and buy 10 supplements tomorrow or right away, please don't. Blind supplementation is blind medicine. Too much is not going to work. That also causes problem. Too much vitamin D, too much iron, not good. Where do you start? Step 1. Get a proper blood work. Vitamin D, ferritin, B12, not just CBC. Then fix the sleep quality immediately, because hair recovery without physiological recovery is difficult. Step 3. Stop expecting overnight results. Hair biology moves slowly. It takes 8 to 12 weeks and 3 to 6 months for realistic improvement. Those baby hairs, those are just the first emotional signs of recovery, not the hair growing. And one last thing before I end, I want to say something very important. Hair loss in women is dismissed a lot of times as vanity, but it's not. For women, hair is deeply tied to identity, emotional well-being, femininity, and confidence. So when we start losing it, something changes internally. So please don't ignore it, but don't panic. Women who recover best are women who are not trying 20 random products. They're the women who investigate properly, correct deficiencies carefully, reduce inflammation, improve recovery, and stay consistent long enough for the biology to respond. Now, I genuinely want to know, which deficiency surprised you the most? Vitamin D, ferritin, magnesium, vitamin K2? Have you ever been told your reports were normal while your hair was continually thinning or shedding? Tell me in my comments. I read every single one. And if you want deeper videos on hair loss, ferritin, shedding, postpartum hair fall, minoxidil, PRP, exosomes, hair supplements, or how dermatologists actually investigate female hair loss and hair thinning, let me know below and I'll make one next week. This is Dr. Chytra, your Indian beauty doc, signing off till next week.